Houston's conference committee invited all of us to think about the future, exploring integration and beyond. And now, CFHA is excited to announce plans to host 2018's conference in Rochester, New York. When you think of Rochester, you may think of snow, and recall that time in 2015 that Niagara Falls froze, for the first time, yes, since 1911. Fun fact, your co-chair Lauren trekked out in freezing temperatures to capture these photographs, and still thinks it's a great idea to live here. And then, just this past winter, Rochester made the national news again when an entire house was frozen. Fun fact, your conference co-chair Jen spent some time here as it belongs to her grandma, and she still thinks Rochester is great too.
So while the first word that comes to mind about Rochester is its snow, we have so much more to offer. You'll have to join us in 2018 to find out, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek from members of our planning committee.
George Engel, author of the biopsychosocial model, made his professional home in Rochester, New York. His article in Science, where this image of the biopsychosocial model was first printed, eventually became the most cited article in medical literature.
Rochester is one of the early adopters of the CFHA care model under the leadership of Susan McDaniel and Tom Campbell.
Tom Campbell and Susan McDaniel worked together decades ago, developing approaches to teaching family medicine trainees about family systems. Rochester is the home of many creative thinkers and writers in the contemporary realm.
Rochester has a rich history of social justice, music, technology, and medical research, with famous names like Frederick Douglass, Susan B. Anthony, Kodak, Xerox, the Eastman School of Music, and the University of Rochester Medical Center.
CFHA is all about family, and it turns out so is Rochester. We have an incredible museum of play, which happens to house the National Toy Hall of Fame. But more importantly, Rochester sees families and relationships as having a huge impact on health. Our Department of Psychiatry's Institute for the Family supports systemic clinical training, innovative mind-body research, and biopsychosocially informed collaborative clinical service to our region's consumers. Hey, Soph? Yeah? Have you ever Googled Division of Collaborative Care and Wellness?
No.
Well, if you did, the only place you would find it is in Rochester. We are thrilled that Rochester and our medical center are so deeply rooted in the value of integration of mind and body that it has minted this new division. Our institution's support of disparate behavioral health integration has been housed here, where we have provided training, education, team support, and ongoing operational and technical assistance to our primary care partners.
You all need to get on a plane and get here to Rochester and come to this conference. Because one, not only will you learn the joys of a garbage plate, but you can come and see where there is wonderful interprofessional collaborative practice happening, where we know how mental health and physical health come together to support the patient in a team-based care setting. And oh, by the way, this place is beautiful.
And if we haven't convinced you yet,
you should come to Rochester because of this. And this. And this.
Why should you come to Rochester, New York? Because you're fascinated by culture. If you want to know anything about deaf culture, this is the place to do it. We think Rochester has the biggest per capita population of deaf people in the world. This is the place to see deaf research, deaf scientists, deaf culture at its best.
Why Rochester? There's plenty to see, and Rochester has the third largest Fringe festival in the world. So it's a great place to be if you love theater and music and art. We'll see you soon.
come get to know who we are, from Rochester's beautiful landscape to our community of patients, families, and clinicians, all of whom represent diverse backgrounds and ideas. We're excited to welcome you to a place full of history, art, music, and innovation. Join us in 2018.